but not
probably. But point being, there's more than one hero in a fight usually.
For sure. You can earn one and earn another.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
And it's not a ton of damage, but it does add up.
Yep.
Kind of interesting.
All in mid. Tumail looking for the kill on Centaur. He goes for the Stampede, but he'd already been caught by the Vortex. He's trying to hit a stun. He actually does get it just after he dies. Fortunately for EG, they won't be able to get Seb as the second kill, but they are quite happy with just the Centaur. Elsewhere, Crystal Maiden goes down bottom. Thompson has gone in behind the towers. You mentioned these urn charges. He's looking to use them.
He's getting fluxed off. He does.
Yep. There's the offensive urn onto Arteezy. Does not have the enrage any longer, and he'll go down. Nicely played by OG with that aggression down in the bottom lane, even though they do lose Centaur at mid.
Yeah, OG hasn't had any control over the top lane, but they're definitely doing a good job in stabilizing mid and bot. Now Thompson's sitting at 5 and 2, whereas before it felt like he was just really significantly far behind. Still big net worth loss. There's 2 strong cores on EG's side and only one that's sitting really good net worth on OG.
Both Centaur and Wind Ranger having slow games and rough starts. S4 at top is taking a tier 2 tower.
He's gone
on his own. That's not something you would expect to see at 11 minutes in, but OG have been too busy in both mid and bottom lane, like you said, stabilizing these lanes that they just can't address top, and S4 is punishing that fact.
So rotating around, the one hero that's really lacking is probably the Wind Ranger right now. I mean, he's not that far away from the Ursa, but I'm sure I'd love to see like a fast mouse from here. He's queuing up Phase afterwards. I think this is the right move. Phase is sometimes really needed, but he definitely needs damage, otherwise Focus Fire just is a pretty dead ultimate.
He's going to try and do what he can to defend the mid lane. Thompson shows up as well with the fluxes onto Sumail, who's trying to hug his Crystal Mate to take this damage.
Oh, great toss back here. Jarex wraps around and
they get S4. There's the old chat, the busted. He knows he's got S4 maybe. Can they bring him down? Have they got the damage? S4 will give away his IP, but Jarex has gone in a little bit too deep and will pay the price.
Yeah, way too deep. His team got the great kill, but it's a lot to kill that Necro, so... great toss back though. The fact that he wrapped around there basically gives him a free Blink Dagger as his opponent retreats. Seb wanting
around the ball lightning.
Wants the free power shot. I thought that was a little Spark Wraith following Crystal Maiden. Just a dog. No problem.
Settle down as OG fall back. We'll shrine up together and then maybe look to make their next move. 5-man rotation here. They're going to smoke up all together and look to re-engage in mid.
But you know, that was straight up under a ward, so you just be ready for that. See how they react.
They're baiting fly.
Maybe more of a... Sumail really wanted to get that creep wave, therefore take care of it. That's a really weird place to have a ward. There has been some fights in that area of the map, but nothing like really aggressive. I mean, they still have the tier 1 tower after all. So they were a little unexpected to have a ward there. Not too surprising. OG ended up smoking right under that one.
A ward you'd expect to see like at 20 to 30 minutes, just not 13 minutes into the game. Jarex behind the tier 1, runs into the Undying, but gets scouted out himself and won't get the initiation. TP coming in to see this one. S4. He's going to get tossed back once again right into Anna's stun. Jarex in some trouble here. They're going to blow up the Necro absolutely immediately. Jarex getting false promise to keep himself alive a little bit longer here. Thompson's already got himself double kill though, with crits Crystal Maiden going down. The Stampede used just to disengage. Jarex will not be kept alive, as it just wasn't quite enough heal for him during the Oracle ultimate, but even so, it's still good fight for OG, who once again kill off this pesky Necro.
Yeah, the way that they're starting these fights is pretty interesting. Like, Tiny's always in a wraparound position, ready to toss somebody back. I'm just kind of surprised that the Necro went for that teleport there. I think EG thought they could defend him better, but they saw the Tiny behind the tier 1 tower. They put the sentry there, they spotted him. No Tail gonna be able to heal himself. Gonna take physical damage here, but who's the Clarity?
He's a bit low on mana here, and some one charges, but gonna get hit by the power shot. Shrine is available, luckily. Thompson still wants to chase this one. The spark being dropped. That wasn't going to catch Sumail. Luckily, can utilize this shrine, and that will deter OG from chasing any further, particularly with those extra DPs coming in.
Yes, and ultimately delaying this until Centaur gets a Blink Dagger is the goal for OG right now. They're definitely creating a lot of action. Thompson's the big net worth leader, making things better for his team. I mean, even having Tiny as a support, 30% stats resistance feels really good, actually, with as much HP as he has. Yes, he's got a small amount of armor, but it feels good.
Top bounty runes being fought over. Fly one, but he may hit through with his life. No, they're not going to force the fight here. Anna actually could be in some trouble. He does not have Stampede, does have the hood to block a bit of damage, and Sumail's actually used up all his mana to go. And coming from behind is Arteezy though, and that's going to chew apart No Tail. The Stampede comes up, but it's too late. Anna's dead to the Reaper, and that's 46 seconds on the sidelines. Thompson now. Tempest double available. May want to turn and fight this one. Has a Force Staff to do some chasing with his illusion. I don't imagine he wants to go charging in with his actual hero, and just going to watch EG gather in this mid lane and try and do some extra harass.
We'll slow things down a bit.
Yep. Slowing down the push with those fields. Now we're getting down to deny range. At this point, you're just hoping to deny it if you're OG, and they should be able to do so. They glyph it. I think they'll worry about that siege creep sneaking a last hit in, and
I mean, it's a lot of gold if you don't get that done. It's like 120 to each enemy hero. This can really add up.
Oh yeah. Fortified now going to refresh anyways, tier 1. So
good point. So Sumail for his Orchid, nothing surprising there. Looking like they want to dive. They do get the first shackle now.
He's going to get the Tempest double out as well. And S4, keep himself alive. He's got the hood now here as well. The Arc Ward, he double force stops himself away. Really nicely played. Unfortunately, it's going to be Oracle set in a lot of trouble here. Yeah, I don't see him surviving this one. He's going to pop. As whoa, Sumail flying in from afar was looking for Thompson. Change target, went for 7. Because he can Thompson as well, and Sumail shows up from nowhere. He was like halfway across the map, and he comes in, cleans up with a double kill. Tiny's like, what can I do here? He's got the angle coming in from behind once more, but doesn't have a blink dagger, neither does the Centaur, and that seems to be a big issue for OG, as they just don't have these blink initiation.
That was a huge fight. Yeah, the last like 5 minutes I felt like OG had control, but then a couple of good maneuvers. Arteezy coming from the back when they went for those bounty runes, and now this engagement as well, grabbing the heroes they need. OG's having a little bit of trouble taking a great fight, and it's
very low in this road champ hit, but OG going to get there too late. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. They just don't have blink daggers. That's the issue here. It's they're able to do these like long range slow initiations, like maybe get a toss back, but that gimmick has worked like 3 or 4 times with great effect. But now they need like a blink done of some kind, or a blink toss back. Because now as long as EG has, I mean, there's less things to play around. Most of the big objectives are gone, so now EG is more just kind of on the map, and it seems like it's harder for OG to actually play around it as a result. Maybe they weren't expecting to lose the laning stage this bad, but at least they've got the blink on Centaur now. They can start landing some initiation and get some follow-ups.
It's pretty much about a reliable initiation, because something like a shackle shot, if you hit it, it's nice, but that's not always going to happen. It forces Wind Ranger to position herself sometimes awkwardly or too aggressively.
Absolutely, and he's maxing out more shackle than Wind Run, which I think is the right move. Just because there's a storm, you got to lock that guy down and get the kill, and longer duration is going to really help out there.
An Orchid not going to help him out against these aggression from OG, the blinks and the stuns, but it's going to definitely map as far as finding kills on people like Arc Warden, like Wind Ranger, or the Oracle. Yep, that's in a team fight almost the ideal target to go for first, because then once you go to, one is going to get saved.
Ursa going to trade Blink Basher like expected, so they can end up getting some solo kills here. Haven't seen Arteezy too often. I feel like I haven't caught him in the camera much. Seems like all the action is always somewhere else. Then he shows up to fight and goes off to farm again. Typical for him. He's able to keep his farm level up, and it's a 3k gold advantage for EG. It's moderate. Some of that's certainly tower based, but kills, map, everything. So good position for EG right now.
Yep. Let's see whether OG is eyeing off some kind of maneuver here. Yeah, they're going to smoke underneath a ward. They've got okay vision, and it's really just one observer ward in the enemy jungle that's giving them some info as far as what's going on, and No Tail's got 2 what's to carry along with this smoke gang.
It is going to spot them. Okay, yep. Now they're in.
I believe they saw Sumail for a split second there, farming that neutral camp.
They secret now.
And they get the blink stun. They put the ward on the high ground here. They go to Crystal Main. Storm immediately counter-initiates with Arteezy. He is almost the first. Shackle on 2. As well as Storm. They melt, but Storm does have an Aegis. He's going to come back to second life here. So EG still looking good here. Sumail on his second life goes balling in, catches out the Oracle as well as Thompson's Arc Warden on the back lines here. Thompson, he's just trying to TP his hero out of there. But he TP'd to the tier 1. What's he thinking? He's being pinged here. Crit gonna give him the tip. It's EG's turn to turn it around. They hadn't been tipping all game, but they'll tip that one, that's for sure.
Oh, that's a painful mistake. He must have clicked the ground, maybe uses quick cast or something, but he could have been in the fountain healing. Oh, but ultimately, again, the same thing happens. EG anticipates where the roam is coming from. They smoke it. They get the scan detection, and they just threw the CM up there. And I was like, how's the CM not die? He's got level 10. He has that. He's a cloak. He's got the health talent, and he just tanks the nukes, and they just go on the back line. Tombstone makes it hard to fight. The shackle was great and gave him some movement, but with Sumail getting this far ahead now, just so easy for him to die for the back line.
Yeah, like when Sumail balls in and Arteezy blinks in, and they instantly get 2 heroes shackled, you'd think the fight could go better for OG, but the problem is Sumail goes in first because he knows he's got this Aegis. So if they throw all those spells at him like they did, it's going to go fine. Meanwhile, Arteezy, he popped in Rage, so he blocked all the damage. So these 2 heroes that got disabled for a huge-ass time actually doesn't win OG a fight on its own. They needed more than that.
And OG's damage is still not very easy to do anyways. Like, them getting a 2-man shackle, you can do some, like, Avatos kind of stuff, but past that, it's still a little bit of time until Arc Warden is dealing a lot of damage. He went 4-step first because he's against a Storm. He's going for a Maelstrom now. He still hasn't finished it. So it's like, even if they get these great team fights, you saw the damage issue. They can't easily kill a CM on the high ground. Obviously, there's going to be a problem here. And they might find tops in here. Smoke breaks.
Instantly blinks in, gets the full stab away, but Arteezy, even without the inst bash, will easily help his team, and Sumail get the last hit on the kill.
So tough loss there. One of those moments where his team is not really showing much on the map, and as a result, eventually EG is going to go look for a kill somewhere. And looking at the tri was one of the more obvious spots, and they had a little vision here as well from before, so ended up catching the enemy hero farming.
You're just going to split out, farm multiple lanes, and also try to find kills on these multiple lanes. Sumail can kill almost anyone with his Orchid. Bottom lane, Arteezy can kill almost anyone. They're going to get the Orchid initiation. He balls too far, in fact. He didn't quite where Seb was, but he's got the back from the CM and will still get the kill. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Anna needs to be careful. Arteezy, okay, he actually blinks away from Arteezy, but Arteezy can follow it up with a blink of his own. Doesn't get the bash once again. RNG just not there for Arteezy, who's going to get followed up by Thompson. Arteezy does not have the Aegis. No blink available, he's just going to turn and fight, and he does pretty damn well. Luckily for Anna, there's an Oracle to back him up.
That was a little close. He'll keep him alive for sure. Big heals on him anyways, and still a little scary, but definitely still possible to kill Ursa. Once he finishes his BKB after this, he's going to be absolutely fine, I'm sure. Doesn't look like he has one picked up just yet. Almost a Blink Dagger on Jarex too. The laning stage was a bit mediocre. The early team fights were great, but you're definitely feeling the losses of having a support Tiny in the last 5 to 10 minutes. But once they get the right-click items, Maelstrom's on the way for Arc Warden, but it just feels so hard to play against the Storm this game. He got way too much trajectory from those mid-game fights when he got that double kill and stuff. Like, Orchid is just going to hard counter Wind Ranger for a long time. Normally you have a better trajectory than this, like a faster Maelstrom into a faster BKB, but he's just starting it now.
We're hoping that this Wind Ranger would kind of have a more dominant laning stage, but that just wasn't really the case. Seb's farmed alright, but hasn't really followed it up with much, and has been on the receiving end of several Storm Spirit ganks. Sumail, 10 kills in the 23 minutes of gameplay so far already.
Very tough for them to win fights, but at least they've got Blink Daggers now, so that's going to give them more options to initiate maybe a Avatos back into a Centaur, for example. Throw somebody out of position, kill them at the start of the fight, but kind of hard. There's a lot of heals coming from EG's side. There's a lot of survivable cores as well, and S4 looking to go. And he does get spotted, though, by the Spark Wraith.
And they actually blow up S4. He's got his defensive Yule Scepter if he needs, and Anna getting orchided up. Can't use Stampede, can't use his stuns, at least not for now. Will he survive through it? No, he doesn't. There's a Reaper, and he's dead for 75, with Oracle also being initiated on Met, that there was no defensive play from the False Promise or a Fate's Edict. EG win the fight and immediately smoke up. They leave S4 bottom.
They had some wards set up on the OG side, but it's so hard to prepare for that when you're against an Ursa and a Storm Spirit, because they're just going to jump in on you and you don't have a lot of time to save yourself. You need some like team fight ultimate that slows things down, and they don't really outside of like Shackles or Centaur stuns. So at some point, who's going to hit the towers? They don't really have that either because they have a support Tiny. So maybe they outdrafted themselves a little bit.
EG went for a very aggressive smoke right after those kills, got all the way on the other side of the map, leaving S4 bottom. It felt like that may have tricked OG into playing a bit not defense enough in the top lane, but
very common for them to be playing around this anyways. I mean, there's a tier 1. Tier 1s are hard to defend, so they probably expect there to be a ward there or something like that. That was even dangerous for Seb to go check high ground. Once again, smoking right underneath an observer wall.
When EG smoked themselves, they're ready for this one. They
scan it though.
They want to, okay.
Scan each other actually. They both know.
Do OG want to fight them head on? Yeah, actually, both teams smoked under a ward, I imagine. Actually, didn't see where EG smoked if they're on the high ground or not.
They were about here, so I could definitely see it like that. Maybe think like, oh, we have an opportunity, but oh, maybe we shouldn't smoke because this is a really obvious spot.
The fact OG aren't moving with their smoke to me suggests they saw it, but here we go. RT's just going to go charging on in. He goes in first, he blows up the Oracle. This makes this fight so difficult for OG and the Shackle. It does land on the Storm. They do take down Sumel instantly. Buys back. S4 still looking for somebody to go and has not got the Reaper still. He finds the Yules to cancel Thompson's TP. Great usage of that. Thompson in some trouble. He's inside the bubble. He's going to get chased down while Sumel's buyback allows him to chase down Wind Ranger. Seb hits the deck, only Jarek surviving on Tiny.
Man, it took them everything just to kill Storm Spirit through the Glimmer Cape here. He wants the Jarek. Concentration's pretty low. He's got an Avatos maybe, but dodging the Avalanche.
He's got a haste rune though. He's going to throw him away. Sumel's not going to go for it.
Okay. Out of mana at that point, definitely. Yeah, he's a little sad about that when he wanted the Rampage, I think. He didn't get every kill actually, but still EG outmaneuvering a little bit in terms of these fights. Ursa just always find the Oracle. You could definitely criticize No-Tail for his positioning in that fight. He was pretty close to the lip, but playing around a tree would have been a lot better, most likely. That way it's not as easy for them to find you.
He needed to be ones hiding in the trees. Like I saw Thompson in the trees in a nice little secretive position. It is difficult because like Storm's gonna go bowling in and see people, but at the same time it was Ursa who actually went in first and just found the Oracle.
So it's still gonna be a long time until Oracle gets that survivability, and that's definitely been the criticism of the hero in the matches he's been in games so far, is that if you are the 5 position you're playing Oracle, it's probably hard. Like you need to play a little bit less greedy, I think, as a 5 to make this guy work, because you need a Glimmer or a Force Staff or something like that, like an item, so it's not just an easy kill every time they jump you. No-Tail exclusively is buying a lot of Sentry Wards. This is super common for him. Maybe Jarex is going to pick up some way now so he can try to finish those items, but for now we haven't seen it yet. We do get a D-Ward at least for No-Tail. Putting a lot of sentries down eventually gets one.
Taking away this VG vision is going to make life a little bit easier, particularly against the Storm, who is just so good and adept at finding those long-range pickoffs. Not many of their heroes are safe against that Orchid or Lightning jump.
And Gordon prepping for the Hurricane Pike, actually.
Okay.
Could work okay. Very good against Ursa. Even if like Ursa jumps on his Oracle or something, using the Hurricane Pike would be great. Push that guy 400 units away from wherever he's standing. Get him away from the team. That's really what they need to do. They need to take a fight where they can ideally initiate on their opponents, which is hard. Center's not the best initiator. And then they need to chain burst somebody, get some double shackles or something. It feels like they need a Ravage or something to like really win a team fight.
EG, as far as these team fights go, have force stops on both supports. Like their mobility and ability to OG is going to be very tricky to deal with. With a Glimmer Cape as well. I'll play that 4-position CM so we get to see that. A little bit extra actually went for the mana cost, mana loss talent as well.
Which is second time we've seen this. It's with a Storm though.
Yes.
So it makes all of his mana go so much farther.
Oh, it's so good with that hero. No-Tail, immediate full promise when Arteezy jumps him, just knowing that he could get bashed on any of those right clicks. Luckily, he does not get bashed immediately. And Sumel going to go bowling and use up his entire mana pool, but with the double damage rune, he may be able to bring down Seppi. Anna gets the stun just on one with Arteezy BKB. He dodges it. Seb going to buy back and try and take this fight. Arteezy's BKB about to wear off. Can they actually chase for this one? They don't have Centaur, who's their kind of key initiating factor. The Tiny may be going to fill his shoes with his Blink Dagger, but looks like they don't want to fight into the Tombstone. Easy to play the front line here. Sumel just going flying on in. This mana efficiency does get shackled up. Still alive for now, though, and he's just being healed up as well. He's just too hard to bring down. Bowling all over the place. Bowling all over OG, who have 4 dead. Only a Wind Ranger left alive who just bought back, and none of these other 4 have buyback. EG are just stomping right now.
Yeah, they've had pretty firm momentum ever since they got over the cheesy toss the guy back, kill the guy out of position thing. Just feels like OG hasn't been able to stabilize. Like playing Arc Warrior against the Storm feels hard. He's had to itemize in a weird way with the Force Staff Rush rather than getting a damage item. And then for every other fight after that, it just seems like their opponents have team fight advantage from Tombstone and Ursa jumping on people and Necro getting a solo kill and Sumel jumping in. It just seems very hard for OG to take fights.
Yep.
The carry Centaur did not get anything done on the laning stage. Might get caught again here.
Yep. And they get him, or will he stampede away? It looks like with the stampede wearing it'll be a pretty easy kill. As EG find kill after kill. 35 in just 29 minutes for one team. And they want Seb as well. Without the Reaper though, that's gonna be a little bit tricky, but okay, nice shackle. Seb will get out there with the shackle into TP.
That was a great teleport. Absolutely. Instantly recognized.
Meanwhile, TZ, he was trying to TP top, I believe, and it got cancelled by Jerex with a cheeky little blink toss, but Jerex looking like it's going to pay for it with his own line.
Well, the game feels pretty much hopeless.
He's trying to kill off some Tempest doubles now. It's actually crazy with the CM Aura and the Kaya, just how low cost Storm spells are.
76 for Remnant, yeah.
Yeah, it's 26% total, 24% total. Yeah, no, sorry. That's
pretty good.
Going on here.
That's cool.
Gonna chase down No-Tell up top. Elsewhere, Seb's dying.
I know, we're gonna stay here. Don't worry about that stuff.
Forget about top and two.
Still alive. Okay.
The support action, we're all about it.
Tops and die. I mean, it's a 21k gold advantage at this point. It does not look good or possible to win for OG at this point. To me, I mean, they're close to doubling them in net worth. Still need about another 10k or so, but it feels like OG doesn't have the damage. They don't have a typical carry. Executing is very difficult with the heroes they have, and against a good team, they're going to avoid that.
Yep. Outdone, EG. Chazi and Anna gonna add one more to his tally. That's number 10. And Tiny not in much better shape. He goes down, and the voice line's coming out. I imagine OG know this one is a bit over and just trying to cheer each other up before going into game number 2.
Yeah, maybe a little hard to execute with their hero matchups, but certainly the laning stage was the toughest part. Just having to lane a Centaur versus that does not sound fun, but Necro, if I'm not mistaken, was the opening, right? It was Centaur, and then Cursa came out and they're like, well, we definitely can't.
The Pugner, you'd imagine.
Yeah, probably.
Not the Tusk. As much as, you know, Q's been doing some cute little plays.
So has Magorka.
So has...
He's 6'2" and 24 on the support Pugner. Gotta give him credit.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah. Jeez. He's a good lad. Oh, he brought back for this!
He's not. 100 seconds.
Oh, no! He's out of it!
They set the trap.
IG know it!
He... just gets caught trying to get some information for his team.
Mind Control's got a route harder than he ever has before.
He's trying.
He's trying.
The TPs are pretty back.
Doesn't really have the right click build for routing, so it's not as quick as it could be. But he's drawing their attention from mid. See mid as well. SRF being gone on, gets swapped back. They have managed to sort of... Mind Control gets able to get the BKB and the TP out. Back towards mid, SRF. He's going to go down a second time. But he's got the 8. He's ready to fight once more. And the killing, the Liquid's army surrounding them. Hex comes down, SRF. He's gone. Oh, the Axe Wraith. He's got 7 seconds of glory to fight from the grave. Aggressive. Reaper's side. Won't get the kill on Matuma Man, but the right click's will. Matuma Man does have buyback. XXS charging down Kuro. Another concoction. The Sprout from Mind Control keeping Kuro safe. Matuma Man buys back. Aggressive. Shroud, 25 seconds until he has the Reaper side back up again. But the mid-racks will get cleaned up. IG. Gonna And a second melee racks and the range racks mid. And those head straight towards bottom. Still 30 seconds without Miracle. Could have been more painful. Aggressive didn't get the kill with the Reaper's side, so Liquid are going to be fortunate in that sense. It's not the extended death timer for Miracle. He is back in less than 20. Mid left. The Treants. The little weird...
They can't do it.
Anemone
It's
things.
backdoor for now still. The top is pushing in though, and now Mind Control will be able to go for the backdoor. But their bottom racks...
XXS. Oh, he's gonna get stunned. He's gonna get swapped back. XXS. He's gonna get forced down. But it's great fight again with the save. Reaper sight down to Kuroki. Kuroki's still alive for now. He's trying to get back. He's got buyback available, and he'll get straight back in. GH with the BKB. Mind Control sprouts now. As XXS controlling of XXS of the BKB, trying to get a concoction out. Sorby can't. Miracle with his own BKB. The damage is enough. The punch slowing down Miracle. Chance with a hex. There's gonna be buybacks for both Boca and Aggressive. Looking to get back in the concoction. Onto Miracle down for 90 seconds. IG back onto the rack. The right train forcing back Kuroki. Control XXS. The Mantis top with the familiar stuns, holding him down again for Boca. They're going to make it. They're going to see him. They're going to detect him down. The Sentry One is enough for the Solar Sentry come in, but the buybacks there. He's ready to TP back to fight XXSQ. Trying to go in onto Kuroki. GH with the Terra. Sprout from Mind Control. Holds Q down. He's out. He scores 7 seconds with that rave time. He's not using it. He doesn't know the axe, but it doesn't matter because there's 3 dead on Liquid. None with buyback available, only Mind Control left in the game. He's trying for the all-in tier 4 push. He brought a refresher up so he could get up here in time.
Kuro buys boots of travel.
He's all going in. The tier 4s, can they really push faster than IG's lineup? Maybe they can. They're taking it. 1 tier 4. TPs are going to have to come back. Liquid are forcing IG back to defend. Mind Control, BKB, the pop. They pop Boca. Mind Control versus Aggressive. He's trying to find that tier 4 tower. Has to be careful. Meanwhile, back Ace. Brax, the Ancient is in trouble. They're all dead on Liquid. IG are up to the Ancient.
Oh my.
And GG is called. IG will take game 1 against Team Liquid. And in fantastic style as well. XXS Alchemist.
Oh well.
And I sort of asked at the start, you know, but Boca support Pugner, we don't see it. It can be hard to do. Absolutely no.
PSG LGD's turn to ban. Windstrike's
Strike's the first pick this time. It was the first pick of LGD in the last game.
Yeah, and Windstrike could have done it this time too.
Neither will be available. Is this a shake? Oh, Chen. Okay. Got to switch up here of tempo. Chen, one of the really strong lane dominators early on. So Windstrike can use this in 2 ways. They can try to play very aggressive and push, or they can use Chen as just a strong lane support with something like Spectre, which we've seen played by, I believe, both VP and VGJ Storm. And I do want to say Liquid as well. I think so. I think all those 3 teams have done this exactly.
Out of those options that you gave me, can we take the aggressive one? I don't want to see the Spectre being picked up again.
It just feels...
An LGD?
Oh, they're gonna grab Clinks. He has a constant influx of death pack options when he's near Chen. I would consider this a better counter back in the day when Death Pact had shorter cooldown and shorter duration, because you would have it available much more.
You could actually you should start cleaning up his creeps during the middle of the fight, so yeah, they lose an aura or they lose a utility ability.
And it's also what you get, right? But now the timing is, I think the downtime is 20 seconds. It lasts 65 and has 85 cooldown or something like that. Something tells me that. I don't really play Clinks much, but I remember those numbers for some reason, so I might be right on that.
You were trying to rip Clinks apart earlier on today.
Let's see. Cooldown 85, duration 65, Toby. Still got it. Still got it. I don't even play that. Well, anyway. Yeah, so Clinks has that. You can stop. That's good enough, Toby. Thank you very much. Please stop. Okay. So 20 seconds downtime. And when you enter fights as Clinks, you generally want the fight to be won within your first strafe. Like, that's the goal. You go strafe, you kill a key target, and the rest of the fight snowballs from there. So that 20-second downtime isn't really that not really that useful against Chen.
Yeah, but then you find heroes who are really good at trying to survive. Tiny was just huge amounts of armor, so at least he can potentially survive against the Klink's initial attack. And he's got the hand of God from Chen.
But then absolutely.
Yeah, he needs the 3 points up in career to get that plus 15.
Yeah, or 2. Just the first 10 is... I would say 10 is a big deal breaker. 5 is not very much, but once you reach 10, it definitely starts making a big difference against Klinks. It's also just the fact that Tiny has so much single target damage. He can actually kill the Klinks, and he doesn't care about strafe. So that definitely makes a big difference for him. Having something that pierces strafe. We were talking about this earlier, actually. I just learned today. You learn new stuff every day about Dota. I actually thought strafe wasn't purgeable, but it is. And that means there's certain heroes that can be really, really good against Klink by just removing strafe. So I would say the counters to this hero is either you have something that doesn't care about strafe, so heroes that have really strong spells that are AoE, that are not targeted, or just hit really hard in melee, or you get heroes that have dispels so that when Klink shows up with his strafe on, you purge it straight away, and then the hero is really bad. Like, strafe is this hero. So you gotta find one way or the other, and Tiny is solid, right? He ticks all the first boxes. He has a lot of single target damage. He doesn't care about strafe from a defensive standpoint. So, and he's melee.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Yep. One of the other things you're talking about is like the SD, like you do, you purge him, but then again, I suppose that opens up a whole different kettle of fish where he gets an Orchid, runs in, and then that's the hero you kill at the very beginning of every single fight. Because there's no way SD can set up against the Klinks. No, Spec. What a shame. Well done, LGD.
Oh, they banned Spectre.
Yeah, they banned her. No Lina for LGD either. Probably worried about just the overwhelming damage they cannot deal with. More AoE clearance, so the Chen army would have a nightmare surviving.
5 seconds remaining.
Not to mention great Lina. Very great Lina.
Yeah, this Lina ban kind of shows me that Windstrike are expecting the Klinks to be in a side lane, and perhaps they want to... They're starting to plan for a mid pick that solves Klinks, which has a bad matchup against Lina. One example of that could be a hero like Ember. It just came to mind for me because he has a bad matchup against Lina. He's also a pretty good hero against Klinks, right? Like lots of magic bursts, just jumps in, chains the Klinks, is super annoying. None of the spells can be dodged by Klinks, and you can get out when he jumps you.
Yep.
Until Orchid, of course, but you can itemize against that as well. But I don't think they're going to get that price perk, though. It's just an idea. He doesn't play that hero very much, I believe.
You need that Klinks 3 position, then we go back into Drow Ranger pickup.
Yeah, Drow Aura is really strong for Klinks,
and just destroy everything. I got a side question for you. With the Chen pickup, how does the tempo get played? Like, we're in a 2-1-2 laning style meta. So, normally...
He was dead for like 20 seconds at that point, and suddenly he kills Envy. A little bit rough considering that Ice was probably dead anyway, but that's life.
I can't believe this game is still going on. Thought it's been over like 4 separate times.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh my god, look at DJ. He is going into the fountain right now, prepping for the Tinker. Are you kidding me? Do they have a scan? They do have a scan available. He's waiting for him to come back in here. Oh my god, if DJ can pull this off.
I'm not sure what the end goal is.
I guess hexing him or something? No, he doesn't have a hex. The hex into kill?
I don't think so. A bold play, Cotton, but I'm not so sure. Just getting some aggressive wards down.
In their fountain.
I mean, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, I guess so. He just ran the whole length of the map. You gotta take that.
Oh, now we're talking. Okay, now I see.
That's a really good kill. If they can take down this Vengeful Spirit, the Hex is there. And that will be a dead hero. Bushi shows up.
Oh, there's a lot of TPs coming through. Dust will not connect. No blink first.
DJ single-handedly holding on to this game. Abed feeling a little bit of excitement as well about the plays that are being made here by his buddy Mr. DJ. And they're holding on inside of their base. They need to get, they have eyes in the forest down as well now through Tree and Protector.
Oh, he actually got it?
He got his Ags.
Wow. Highlight eye.
So
what a legend.
Find this Tinker. I actually can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel like there's a way that Fnatic could win this. If they can find and kill this Tinker.
Alright, but right now, Pugna's the only one missing buyback.
Right.
That's the major problem. They're going to kill this Roche, they're going to go into the base, and they're probably going to lose. DJ, looks like he'll be okay.
They still have this...
Time it up with your Pugna, and then you're both going to have buyback, but that also means you're going to allow the buybacks to come back for the side of Fnatic.
Swap in. They found DJ. He's hexed through the spell immunity, and that is the strength of that talent.
Oh, a big kill. Now Abed. Oh, DJ, you might want to buy back here. This looks like a real fight.
Looking for it now. They have the opening already onto Pugna. A lot of damage coming in. Abed able to catch him. He's caught for the moment. The Tinker does buy back. If this fight goes poorly for Medeski, they potentially could lose it, but they lost Abed. 2 minutes. He's away, but they do take down the bench. Yet again, swap back in onto Envy. She's still alive for the moment as well, but he has very little mana here, and they have been able to find that follow-up Hex, but they find themselves yet another kill. Wyvern dead for 2 minutes, buys back immediately as well.
The synergy there. You become the Wraith first, and then the Wraith ends, and then you become your vengeful spirit. You can't kill it instantaneously, and that just kind of ends up living.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. But he is dead now, and those two heroes for a fairly long time.
Is he dead, though?
Alright, that's fair.
He's running around the map, and he's wave of tearing this Roche. So I'm going to have to disagree here.
He also has a Moon Shard.
Now, what I did admit is if this dies, I don't think it works. But if this died and became a Wraith, that would be really cool. But I'm pretty sure in the last fight it did not.
Okay.
Because, you know, it is an illusion, sadly. A cool illusion, but an illusion nonetheless.
Wind Strike's turn to pick.
Not giving maybe that one. I don't think it's going to be maybe Clinks, but it might. He does. I do think he plays it, but in my mind, that's not the kind of hero that Somnus is the best on. I would rather see him on something like the Storm we saw last game, or his Lena's great. That's banned though, but yeah, that type of hero.
Well, on the bright side, you're going to get an answer pretty quickly because we're into extra time and there's only 15 seconds left for Windstrike.
Yep.
So decisions made under pressure. Something to tie this lineup together and to give them some... Well, they've already got the momentum killers. They got the sustain for push, which comes from Chen and Wraith King. So the murderous intention of a god. Now bring in Zeus. So that'll be their mid. Nice reveal against the Clinks. Good burst damage against him globally too. Maybe not so great when he has death, when he's got the death pact on, because then he's just got so much life.
My biggest concern right now is how does Windstrike win the game? Like, what's the killing blow? Where you're just seeing their lineup, okay, this is how they end the game. Their pushers are... So they have Chen, right, who wants to hit this timing early and push, but they don't have the best pairings for that. And at the same time, you could also be like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to use Chen to enable our super strong late gamer to come online, but they don't have that either.
But don't you get that from... Don't you get the early push from the Wraith King? Like with the Mortal Strike skeletons,
yeah,
this is when you start to build up, but then you've got a Chen army and a skeleton army, and you can take out all the outer towers.
But how do you break the base?
You need Tiny. Like, that's it. You just get pickoffs. And it's a Husker. Kind of dangerous against Wraith King's heavy physical damage, but all the magical pop of Windstrike now becomes very useless.
I think this is a really good pick, actually. I think they have very few solutions. Unless Wraith King is really farmed or they get a Silver Age on the Tiny, I think Somnus is going to destroy this game. This lane matchup is unplayable for Zeus, I'm pretty sure. After level 3, you don't stand a chance against Huskar.
Yeah.
He just stands on your hill, throws Burning Spears at you. When you try to come see us with Arc Lightning, he throws a couple extra, just dominates you. So Windstrike have to think outside the box. They're probably going to dual lane mid with the Lich. You might get to see it here. I think it's the best option.
Zeus and Lich together, go the blue boys?
No, I think Lich is off. Zeus, I mean. It's non-Grad on Zeus. I don't think they're... I think they'll put Lich Tiny mid with Iceberg, and then they will... Man, this is awkward.
Against the Clinks.